Big Liverpool news today, from Rio Ngumoha breaking his silence to Virgil van Dijk backing fans, plus a huge clash versus Paris Saint-Germain that could define the season. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this. Rio Ngumoha lifts lid on reason for Liverpool change and what can happen next. Teenage winger Rio Ngumoha has been talking after his record-breaking goal for Liverpool against Fulham on Saturday evening. Rio Ngumoha is convinced there is plenty more to come from him, as he highlighted the work he has been doing to increase his chances of more first-team action at Liverpool. Ngumoha scored his first Anfield goal on his second Premier League start, with the opener in the Reds' 2-0 win over Fulham on Saturday evening.
The 17-year-old, who became Liverpool's youngest goalscorer when netting at Newcastle United back in August, replaced Raheem Sterling as the club's youngest scorer in the Premier League at home. Ngumoha came off the bench 8 times in the first 26 top-flight games this season, but has now featured in the last 6, 2 appearances of which have come in the starting 11. And the left winger believes his application off the field is now beginning to pay dividends on it. "I've been in the gym since the summer," he said. "It's really important to be strong because everyone is taller than me, but also because I'm quite quick. It can give me an advantage. I just have to be sharper and stronger. There's plenty more to come. The start of the season was positive for everyone, and the goal at Newcastle was the highlight for me until the middle of the season. But now I feel I can actually perform better and people can see what I can do. I can't wait to see how the rest of the season evolves." Of his record-breaking strike against Fulham, Ngumoha added, "I'm happy to get the goal at Anfield. I couldn't ask for much more. Newcastle was great, but this was even more special to get the first goal. And at Anfield, it's the best stadium in the world. The fans were singing my name, so it was special. When I get a chance to take on my man, I'll always try to, if there's an overlap on with Andy Robertson, who gave me a lot of help during the game, I'll play it to him, or if I come inside, I can have a 1-2 with Florian Wirtz. I feel like I have a good connection with everybody now. I just want to excite the crowd and everyone that is here to watch." Ngumoha's performance has now put him in the frame to make a first ever Champions League start when Liverpool looked to overturn a 2-0 first leg deficit in the Anfield return on Tuesday in their quarter-final against holders Paris Saint-Germain. And speaking to LFC TV, the teenager also highlighted the assistance he has received from departing duo Mohamed Salah and Robertson. "Mo really helped me, especially during the start of pre-season, along with Robbo. And because Robbo is a left-back, he helps me even more because he's such an experienced player," he said. "For him to play behind me is great, and he is teaching me a lot. The 3 points was needed so we can go positively into Tuesday. The team has confidence and belief that we can reverse the tie." What Andy Robertson told Liverpool, as Scott reveals he had no contract offer from club. Andy Robertson has confirmed he is leaving Liverpool after 9 years, clarifying no contract was offered as he prepares to join Tottenham with relationship with owners intact. Andy Robertson told Liverpool that he wants to play, as he disclosed that a new contract was never formally put forward. And the vice-captain acknowledged that the end of an era is approaching at Anfield as he and Mohamed Salah prepare to wrap up a trophy-laden spell. The Reds claimed 2 Premier League titles, the Club World Cup and Champions League in 2019, 2 Carabao Cups and the FA Cup with the pair at the helm. Robertson announced on Thursday that his 9th season on Merseyside will be his final one. Tottenham Hotspur are presently front-runners to secure the left-back, who featured on Saturday as the Reds defeated Fulham 2-0 at Anfield and was given a massive ovation at the final whistle alongside Salah, who outlined his own decision to depart during the March international break. Robertson revealed he almost departed the club last summer and during the January transfer window, and says the decision to ultimately move on was reached after lengthy discussions with key figures at Liverpool, which concluded without a fresh deal actually being presented. "There have been discussions all season," the Scotland captain said. "Last summer I was close to having a decision to make and I decided to stay. It was the same in January. It was more a discussion with the club and it was an open and honest conversation. I've always said I've had an amazing relationship with the owners and people like that. It was just a sit down with my wife to see what we wanted next, and obviously we'll see where we go, but it's important to end this story and we'll see whatever comes next." Robertson confirmed, "I want to play," so that was where the discussions came. "It's not like I've knocked back a contract or anything. There was no contract on the table. It was a conversation we all had. It was a conversation of, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to play, and I believe I've still got the ability to play. I think I have showed that this season. Look, you can't be promised at this club, and that's absolutely fine. It can't be promised at any club. But it's also maybe time for the story to end. And obviously me and Mo both made that decision this year. You're not getting any younger. I saw a picture the other day of the Champions League final, and even from the big squad picture, there's only 5 or 6 of us left. Look, these eras come to an end. That's what's happening. And in the next couple of years, some of the other lads will leave in terms of their contracts and things like that. All good things come to an end. I've been here 9 years, and I couldn't have dreamed of it being any better with all the trophies I've won. To stay at a club like this for 9 years is something I'm incredibly proud of, and it's now time for me and my family to let Liverpool crack on, and I'll look back on some amazing memories. Everything. They have been amazing with me since day one, so they mean a lot to me. They know that, so it was nice to get my name sung. Obviously the announcement came this week. It means I don't have to lie to everyone, so it's a weight off my shoulders. That was the main reason to do it, but now I am really focused on just trying to finish the season as strongly as possible, because that's what this club deserves from me. I've done that since day one, and I won't stop until I leave. The 32-year-old also revealed he wants to settle his long-term future before his World Cup adventure kicks off in June. Robertson will captain Scotland at their first World Cup since 1998, and he's keen to have his next destination sorted before the tournament begins, with their opening match against Haiti on June 14th. He added, "The phone has been ringing with people saying congratulations." Things went off on Thursday night with a lot of texts and a lot of messages from friends and family to just congratulate me on the 9 years I've had here. That's what I am focused on just now. I am fully focused on getting Liverpool to where I believe they belong, so I can leave them in the best place possible. I will be looking to sort my future out sooner rather than later. I don't want to be going to the World Cup with anything hanging over my head, so there will be conversations and things like that, but as of yet there's nothing. I know the contract stuff was kept to ourselves, and this will be kept to ourselves. Until a decision is made, we'll see where things land for me and my family. There's so many memories. I have been so fortunate to be involved in so many good games and so many celebrations of trophies and things like that. I'm just honoured, first of all, to play for this club, but to win all those trophies and to be spoken about the way I've seen over the last couple of days is really pleasing and emotional for me and my family. I couldn't imagine it to be much better. I've had so many good games here in terms of the fans and big victories, feeling so important. So to pinpoint one is impossible. I can look back on so many memories, and thankfully they've all been happy ones. Virgil van Dijk backs Liverpool fans' ticket price protests in strong message to owners. Liverpool fans protested both ahead of and during Saturday's 2-0 win against Fulham at Anfield, making their stance on the club's plans to raise ticket prices. Crystal clear, Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk has urged the club's owners to sit down and come to an agreement with fans following protests over plans to raise ticket prices. Supporters came together for the Not a Pound in the Ground campaign, both ahead of and during Saturday's 2-0 win against Fulham at Anfield. A banner was also unfurled at the Kop end with the text, "No to ticket price increases." The Kop looked markedly different for the Premier League match, with various flags and banners removed as part of the protest following a decision made by fan group Spion Kop 1906. Fans also chanted, "Shove your prices up your Kreiter" and "You greed, enough is enough" during the game. On Friday, Liverpool CEO Billy Hogan wrote to season ticket holders and members to explain their decision to increase the price of tickets in line with inflation over the next 3 years. Now, Van Dijk has spoken out and believes that the current situation benefits no one. "I think the fans are the heart and soul of the club," the defender said. "If they feel like this, then protest is their fair right. Hopefully they come to a solution with the club. These things are far above my position as captain of the club. But my opinion is that our fans are the club. They always have been, before my time and after my time. It's important that these things get solved because it benefits no one." Liverpool Supporters Union, Spirit of Shankly, are planning more protests over the coming weeks, with the Reds next in action on Tuesday at home to Paris Saint-Germain for the second leg of their Champions League quarter-final. Action will take place across home and away fixtures, starting with Fulham at Anfield and escalating from there, they said in a statement. Liverpool's result against Paris Saint-Germain will have huge ramifications. Win or lose, Liverpool will turn to their focus on the Champions League on Tuesday, and it will remain there for the rest of the Premier League season. For the most part, it had offered Liverpool and Arne Slot rare solace during the dismal autumn months. Now, with mere weeks remaining of the season, there is only one priority for the Reds. Whether it is staying in this season's competition or ensuring they maintain their place for next term, the Champions League now commands the complete attention of everyone at Anfield. After Saturday's 2-0 home Premier League win over Fulham offered some much-needed relief from the pressure that had been building on the strength of 3 successive defeats. The most immediate concentration will be on attempting to overturn a 2-0 first-leg deficit when they entertain Paris Saint-Germain in their Champions League quarter-final on Tuesday. Few doubt the task will be anything but difficult, especially given the manner in which Liverpool were routinely undressed by PSG's rapier-like attacks during a tortuous 90 minutes at the Parc des Princes. The weekend win, while hardly stellar, will at least give the Reds some confidence and self-belief going into the game. Although it must be said, the only home loss Liverpool have suffered in 14 such games since the 4-1 shocker against PSV Eindhoven in November was the late reverse to Manchester City in February. Perception, though, suggests that record is a lot worse, given it contains lamentable draws against Sunderland, Leeds United, Burnley and Tottenham Hotspur. In some ways, the lack of expectation could work in Liverpool's favour, with PSG massively odds-on to complete the job with the bookmakers and having benefited from the controversial decision of the French authorities to postpone their title showdown with Lens at the weekend to give them time to rest between the 2 legs. The Reds, similar to every other Premier League team in Europe, were afforded no such assistance. Tuesday's game will be important in several respects. This has been a season all about momentum for Liverpool in both directions. After the Community Shield, the Reds won 7 games in a row, then lost 9 out of 12, then were beaten only twice in 21 and have now claimed just a 3rd win in a spell of 9 matches in which they have lost a further 5. It's why, even if Liverpool fall short in their effort to reach another Champions League semi-final, a positive result, whether a win or draw, could be key going into the final 6 Premier League games of the season. This is a team that clearly operates to a rhythm of results, whether good or bad. And the Reds' remaining fixtures in the Premier League are not straightforward, having to travel to the 2 teams immediately above them, Manchester United and Aston Villa, while entertaining 2 loitering with intent just below in Chelsea and Brentford. Factor in a first trip to Hill Dickinson Stadium to take on Everton next Sunday, and an Anfield showdown with a Crystal Palace side that have already beaten them 3 times this season. Liverpool have as tough a run-in as any. How Villa and Palace could be distracted by European commitments, none of those 6 opponents are likely to be taking their foot off the gas. What, though, of Liverpool's chief rivals? United, while in a strong position in 3rd, still have to go to Chelsea and Brighton while entertaining Brentford. Chelsea also have a game at Brighton, and Villa must travel to Fulham and finish the season at Manchester City, where Brentford also have to visit. Everton, meanwhile, host Manchester City in May and will have a big say in the relegation battle by travelling to West Ham United. And on the final day, Tottenham Hotspur. With so many of the involved teams facing each other, they can't all win, meaning a run of consecutive victories will make a huge difference over the coming weeks. The average points total for 5th place over the past decade has been 68 points, although in 4 of the last 6 seasons, 66 points has been enough. With Liverpool standing on 52, it's likely the required tally will be lower than normally expected, highlighting what has been a deeply below-par Premier League competition in general this campaign. What's certain, though, is Tuesday will have ramifications for the Reds beyond this season's Champions League. Rio Ngumoha admission excites Liverpool fans after Trent Alexander-Arnold saga. Talented Liverpool youngster Rio Ngumoha is already a firm favourite with Red supporters, all of whom will hope that he stays at the Merseyside club for years to come. Rio Ngumoha endeared himself to the Liverpool supporters with a stunning goal against Fulham on Saturday, after also doing his reputation no harm when he revealed that he failed his Spanish exam. Ngumoha was handed a rare Premier League start at Anfield and repaid his manager's faith with a stunning opening goal against the Cottagers. Ahead of the game, Ngumoha spoke to Sky Sports and he was asked a question about how he got on with his school exam results. "I passed everything. The only thing I didn't pass was Spanish, but everything else, the teachers were happy, my mum was happy as well, my brother." That's the biggest one, my mum being happy. Some Liverpool fans joked about Ngumoha's Spanish failure, suggesting that it was a good thing for Liverpool's chances of staving off interest in Ngumoha from La Liga clubs in the future. Trent Alexander-Arnold infamously moved to Real Madrid from Liverpool last summer and raised eyebrows when he spoke in Spanish at his Madrid unveiling. Many fans felt as though it was evidence that Alexander-Arnold had been having Spanish lessons long before he confirmed that he would be moving to Madrid at the end of last season. However, speaking in October ahead of a Champions League game between Liverpool and Real Madrid at Anfield, Alexander-Arnold claimed that he had only started learning Spanish in May 2025. "Hi, I'm Trent. I started learning Spanish with Sarah 5 months ago. I didn't speak any Spanish before," Alexander-Arnold said. "I wanted to learn Spanish to communicate better with my teammates, my coach and the Madrid fans and adapt better to the culture. I really like the lessons because they were very football based. The terminology we were learning about was press conferences, interviews and vocabulary that I would need to talk to my teammates on a day-to-day basis within the club. This helped me very, very much, and I really enjoyed every lesson. Meanwhile, Liverpool head coach Slot praised Ngumoha in a press conference after the Fulham game. He has such a special quality, which you don't see a lot in football anymore, dominating the 1v1 situation, Slot said. And that's exactly what he did when he scored his goal, making the ball free by twisting and turning and then hitting it in like a Mo Salah finish, I would say. It's something I'm not surprised to see because in training sessions during the last month, we saw more and more that he got more and more power to hit the ball, as powerful as he did today. Liverpool's remaining fixtures compared to Chelsea and Aston Villa. Liverpool has a tough Premier League run-in on paper, but the Reds have a decent cushion over Chelsea going into the final 6 games of the top flight campaign. It was a good weekend for Liverpool in the hunt for Champions League qualification, as the Reds ended Sunday with a 4-point cushion in the top 5. The Reds began the weekend with just a 1-point cushion, but Saturday's win over Fulham, coupled with Chelsea's loss to Manchester City on Sunday, saw that gap widen significantly. Arne Slot's men also gained ground on Aston Villa after Unai Emery's team was held to a 1-1 draw by relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest. All 3 teams now have just 6 Premier League games remaining in the season, and here's a look at their run-ins. Liverpool. The Reds have a huge Champions League game against Paris Saint-Germain to contend with on Tuesday, before attention turns back to domestic matters with a Merseyside derby against Champions League chasing Everton at Anfield. Back-to-back away games against Crystal Palace and Manchester United, both of which are fighting for European qualification too, are followed by further tricky tests against Chelsea and Aston Villa before the season concludes with a home game against Brentford. On paper it is a tricky run-in, but the 4-point cushion the team currently has should help Liverpool get over the line. Remaining Premier League fixtures: Everton H-Re, Crystal Palace A, Manchester United A, Chelsea, Aston Villa A, Brentford H-Re. Villa has presentable fixtures over the next 4 games, all of which come against teams that are placed 10th or lower in the table. But it gets trickier for Emery's side in the final 2 games of the season, which come against Liverpool and City. The Midlands club currently has a 7-point cushion over 6th place Chelsea, so will surely be confident of securing a return to the Champions League after missing out on qualification last term on the final day of the season. Remaining Premier League fixtures: Sunderland H, Fulham A, Tottenham H, Burnley A, Liverpool, Manchester City A, Chelsea as the 6th place team. Chelsea undoubtedly is in the least enviable position of the teams that currently occupy in the top 6. Liam Rosenior's team has lost 5 of its last 6 games in all competitions, including the last 3 in a row in the Premier League. And with games against Manchester United, Brighton and Liverpool to come in the next 4 games, it feels unlikely that the Blues will be playing in the Champions League next season. Remaining Premier League fixtures: Manchester United H, Brighton A, Nottingham Forest H, Liverpool A, Tottenham H, Sunderland A,